Welcome back, Lorcana Lumineers, as we head into the final match of our Winnabox tournament at Atlas Games in Ankeny, Iowa. We just saw a really great match between Matt and Jason, Blurple versus Dogs, and now we are here in the finals. We have Matt once again on Blurple and Colleen, who we saw earlier in the tournament, on Amber Steel Song.
Yeah, this Amber Steel deck I feel like we haven't really seen a whole lot of for the majority of this set, but the past month or so, I feel like it's really kind of taken off.
It is a deck that I have played around with a lot, just in playing online or play testing, and I think it has so much potential. It is a really cool deck. For me, I love to have consistency, and it is a little bit harder, I think, to play, but there are some really great lines.
Yeah, there really are. One of my favorite ways to kind of see the deck, and I don't believe Colleen is on it here, but it actually happens to run quite a few aliens, and so you actually can do some of the Lilo and Stitch kind of alien synergies that I feel like can kind of catch people off guard a little bit.
Absolutely. This deck really relies on singing some songs early. We have, it looks like Colleen has 13 different songs to choose from. So, Strength, He Hurled His Thunderbolt, 4 copies of Akuta Temuti, and then a single copy of Della's Moon Lullaby. So, really a lot of ways to get some of these songs off early, and then we play some of these larger characters like Chief Powhatan, Rhino, Stitch, Carefree Snowboarder. Lots of really great stuff that comes pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I mean a deck that while it can do the song side of it as well. I mean, it's a deck that can also be pretty aggressive and just come out swinging.
We see that Colleen plays Angel, which is one of those underdog characters that we saw with Winterspell, and one of the better ones too. Certainly can come out and then can be a Singer 3 next turn,
Yeah, and it looks like we may be able to sing Akud and get out this Chief Powhatan.
which is just such a powerful play. The Chief Powhatan comes out so quick, ink to 2, and not to mention we're drawing a card off the Akud as well.
Yeah, he's a card that I feel like didn't hasn't seen a whole lot of love, but I mean, in some of these decks, when you can get him out a little bit quicker with these Akuds, I mean, he's got a stat line that's very, very difficult to get through.
Yeah, and we do not see any of the song options in Matt's hand right now, which is, one of the primary ways that Blurple wants to get rid of Chief Powhatan. So it could be quite a while before we deal with the Chief.
And we do see that play come through here, and that chief, while it cannot challenge, but it can quest and it can sing these songs as well. That chief happens to have quite the good voice, singing "Strength of the Raging Fire."
Yeah, it is. At first glance, you might look at it and say that somewhat feels like a downside, but in reality, it's so strong. And we do have a strength in hand as well, so we could. I don't know if we would strength the Royal Guard potentially, or get 2 things out and
Uh, Possibly. I mean, I mean, Colleen wouldn't really have the knowledge here, but Matt does have the ability to have that Royal Guard swing for 4 on the next turn, I believe, with the Woodchuck Guide. Um, but notably, I mean, still not 5, so it'd still have to throw in the Tigger and the Royal Guard to be able to get through that chief. Oh, but we do see the Mowgli come down taking the Woodchuck Guide.
nice play. Yeah, very good. So now I don't think we would strength the.
No, I feel like we would see it hold off a single turn here, but we do see it just go ahead and
Yeah.
quest.
I mean, I think if Matt throws the Royal Guard and the Tigger into it, you don't feel that bad.
No, I mean, But notably, we could see Matt do just that and play this Elsa to take out the Mowgli, which would set Colleen back, taking out all of the characters on her side of the board, but she also would have a handful of cards to kind of be able to combat it.
And we
Oh,
do
but
see
we
the
drew
Into
the
the
into the
Unknown
unknown.
there. Yeah.
But now having to ink this Elsa.
Yeah, I don't love to see Elsa
Or
go
opting to not
in.
ink, because I believe our hand now is Hades and Elsa.
So I'm a little. Oh, I guess we maybe didn't have
Yep.
another inkable. Is that the
Opting there
issue here?
to not ink, keep the Elsa as an option for this next turn.
Okay, I was gonna say, I would have maybe seen the Into the Unknown, Tigger can sing that, but if we didn't have another inkable, that makes sense.
Some tough choices here for Colleen. Um, I feel like I would expect to kind of see a Nani along with a Troubadour. Ooh, but we drew another Chief.
We do have to pay full cost for this chief,
I
but
take
he's
everything
worth every
back. We
penny.
get the
Yeah,
Chief down.
he's worth every penny. And do we potentially ink? And I guess we don't maybe have a one drop to play. But one thing that is tricky about this Amber Steel is you do have to continue inking because you do play the Stitch Carefree Snowboarder,
Yep.
and you really, he can be very powerful for you, so you need to be able to get him down.
Yeah, so you've got to at least make sure you can get to 5. Once you're at 5, you can kind of stop. So we likely will see Colleen hold off on the majority of her ink from now, unless there's a certain play that she's going for. But she is now at the cap.
So interestingly, I noticed that Colleen puts the Chief out there, but did not quest with the Mowgli.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the most intentional, or if she just kind of got the Chief down and decided to and kind of forgot about it. If you're not going to
Yeah,
quest with the Mowgli there, hard to say whether or not the Chief should come in exerted.
right. And we did put the Chief at the bottom of our deck to
Yeah, we
avoid allowing Matt to draw cards.
Colleen knows that the only card left in Matt's hand is this Hades, so knows that he doesn't really have the ability to get out a whole lot of cards.
And I suppose, well, we were still one ink away from the Hades potentially. I was gonna say maybe that was the reason for not questing the Mowgli, but I think we were still two ink or one ink short.
And here I might, if we've still got the Troubadour, I feel like we might see that Troubadour come down here with an extra ink. Because that would allow us on this next turn to be able to strength the Hades away and then challenge into the rest of Matt's board.
We go for a Lilo Escape Artist. This is still contingent on Matt drawing an inkable card here. We did miss that one turn without ink.
Okay. We do get Colleen's hand updated there. And notably, with an additional ink, we could see this aerial come down with a hard cast of the Strength of a Raging Fire. It looks like Matt got a Demona off the top, but unfortunately it's probably just going to be inking it.
Yeah, because we didn't have an inkable card to play the Demona either. Yeah, that is a tough.
Yeah, and no exerted Tigger there, which, I mean, I think not questing with those characters is probably correct for Matt here, but It does mean that we will likely see the Nani potentially just sing this Strength of a Raging Fire onto this Hades.
Yeah, we can play this aerial ethereal voice and then boost it, and it gets that discount low. Maybe going to try to find a dock. Looks like we found a rhino. Nani's so good in this deck in particular. We've seen how good it can be in dogs, but to be able to go find a 2-cost dock is kind of bonkers.
It's definitely quite good. Um, that Rhino is also interesting. We could see it get played here just to decrement the Royal Guard, forcing the Tigger to kind of be the one that challenges. But I think the hand right now is Aerial, Rhino, and Strength. So the fact that we opted for this Nani, I'm not sure that we can afford to get the Aerial down and boosted.
Not unless we ink the rhino, which
we may still see.
I suspect that Colleen was in search of a dock.
Maybe we just see a challenge come through onto the Hades.
Maybe we hold this strength for the 3/6 Hades that we know is in Matt's hand. This Nani came down that turn.
It did, but as long as the other one does not turn sideways, we should be okay. All right,
Yeah,
we
that's
got it
true.
fixed.
Oh, it looks like we corrected it. Yeah.
Challenging with the Lilo here, I think, is a pretty good call. You'll be able to just replay her on the next turn anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of dodges the Hades being able to kind of permanently remove the Lilo.
Yeah, that is something that Hades is such a magnet for this Lilo because you don't want your opponent to be able to bring it back every turn. Oh. Did Matt draw an inkable card?
I don't know. I feel like we would have seen that Hades come down by now.
I feel like yeah, and we're not pulling oh gosh.
Okay.
Okay.
Opting to value this cat over the additional ink, and I can see the rationale there, but I mean, at the ink that Colleen's at, she really kind of has the ability to play anything that she would want to play anyway.
Yeah, the Grandmother Willow is not too valuable for her, although it will now cost her 2 to bring back this Lilo, but I don't know that that's really that big of a deal.
I wonder if we'll see the Lilo come down or not.
We
I
know
don't
the
think we
Hades
really
is
need
still
to
in
see
hand.
it yet.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and we just drew another Willow. We have the ability here to play the Willow, boost the Aerial, and then sing Strength on this cat and draw a card.
I suspect we will see that line of play.
Ooh, that gets me excited. It's such a good play. Holy cow. Cat is just one of those cards that is like, if you have an instant way to remove it, do so.
Yeah, it definitely can start to snowball out of control with some of its value, especially in these more aggressive decks, where the cat will kind of be able to 2-for-1 for the majority of the game. And we do see.
Looks like we do see that. And then we have the 1 ink to boost it. Of course, the aerial discounted because of that willow. And then we just strength that cat.
Yep, drawing a card.
Yep.
And then
And I feel like
perhaps a
we can
quest for
quest.
2.
I was going to say, I feel like the Mowgli and the Rhino can go questing now. Well, maybe not the Rhino. You do run the shift target, but the Mowgli
This
for
is a deck
sure.
that can value that Rhino a little bit higher than
Yeah.
the dog's Amber Emerald deck.
And we still don't quest Mowgli. That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, Colleen does know that Matt only has a Hades here and would have to be able to ink and play the Hades. So the opportunity for this Royal Guard to draw more cards isn't that high.
Right.
Which may mean that this Nani is actually safe, whereas the Mowgli would have been able to get taken out by the Royal Guard.
That is true. Yeah. And I
But we
think
also
if
do
if
see a
you know,
Rhino in Colleen's hand, so definitely not opting to quest with the Rhino there.
sure. And we ink with Hades and get rid of that aerial. We can bring back Lilo for 1 ink.
And I didn't see what Colleen ended up drawing. Oh,
Oh,
never mind.
well. And Blurple does not like to be in a position. Oh, okay. Blurple does not like to be in a position where it has no cards in hand and is top decking because,
Yeah, and it will have to send both of these characters into this chief, likely leaving the Hades near dead. Um,
yeah, we have the peep, but it feels. Oh, yeah. And now at this point, I mean, our Mowgli can remove the Hades, and we're fine with that.
yeah, or even potentially the Rhino. It does remove the resist, but that Pete would be able to get through it either way.
We just hard cast the Akud because. Oh, and it's a dock off the top. The dock is free too. This is
Yeah,
why this deck is so fun.
and these draws have been just kind of crazy for Colleen.
Uh, I was like, am I missing something on the Ursula?
Oh, and taking it out with the Lilo again, utilizing her to just kind of clean up some of these characters, just and then be able to kind of keep bringing her back.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, yeah, and at this point, you quest that Rhino. I mean, if Pete wants to run in there, Pete will still take 4 damage back.
And that means that
And
Matt's not able to dig further. But we do see it go into it
yeah,
because, I mean, there's not a lot of other options left.
no, and Matt hop decks the Basil, which is not good. We can play the Lilo for 1 again.
For free, we have 2 Willows out actually.
Oh my goodness, it comes in for free. Oh, she just and you hear Colleen. I don't know if anybody else can hear it. She said, "I'm sorry, Matt." she. Oh, I am also sorry, Matt.
These draws have been
They have been crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go for it now. We go to 16, and
Yeah, I don't know
Blurple
that
does
there's a
not have
card
a
in Matt's
response
deck
to
that can
this.
get him out.
Nope. This is why. Now, if Blurple had a spooky sight, that would be.
A spooky sight would have been a card that could have gotten out of that situation. Actually, yeah.
Still would not have committed anything to the board, but it's all right. It would have put the Lilo into the inkwell so that Colleen could not bring it back.
Yeah, and we've already seen quite a few docks, so maybe it wouldn't be another dock chain.
Right. So Colleen takes game 1 in what was somewhat of a stalemate early on. This Amber Steel it can go very wide and very quick, but also I don't know that I would call it an aggro deck. It has a lot of mid-rangey tools in it and really does have to exercise some patience early on.
Yeah, it lives in kind of a weird area where it can kind of do the aggro thing, but I mean, really, it wants to kind of do more of this mid-range song type of things, utilizing the carefree snowboarder typically to be able to kind of continue card advantage along with the aerial. But here, Colleen just showing us that sometimes you can just get to 20.
Yeah, one card that is very good against this Blurple deck is he hurled his Thunderbolt, and I don't think we saw a single one of those played for Colleen that game.
I do not believe we did. I think we only saw some Akuds and a Strength.
Yeah, we saw one Strength, which eventually took out the cat.
But that Chief, also very good at singing Thunderbolts.
Yes, the Chief, I didn't know he had such a powerful voice. And this deck just in general I think is so exciting to me because of the, you know, ability of, I think the aerial is such a fun card, the ethereal voice. A card that I think when we see a lot of Infinity Steel Song very well could find a home in there as well.
I think so, as well as I think that these Amber Emerald song decks are. It's certainly a card that I think is worth evaluating and potentially running.
So it looks like we have the Rhino Shift line for Colleen, which is a pretty powerful opening against Blurple.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of answers that Matt could have early that would be able to do much about that. Into the Unknown is certainly one of them, but that will allow Colleen to kind of ramp her resources up and be able to start to play these other 4 and 5 drops that can kind of start to snowball the game away.
Yeah, I can't tell, but it almost looks like to me that maybe Colleen would have shipped those away, or at least shipped the shift line. I can't tell. And I do suppose one, you know, thought with that is it does use up a lot of cards, and if you don't have any great answers to refill, you can play Rhino and shift it and then run out of cards pretty fast.
That is true.
I can't really tell. Looks like we have a He Hurled Us Thunderbolt. And Colleen will be on the draw again, so we... Well... Oh, this is going to be pretty strong opening too if we can find an Akud.
We do
Okay,
not
I
have the
stand
Akud, but we
corrected. It
do
looks
have
like
the Rhino
we...
line.
Yeah, okay, so we did keep that line, or... And that might have been the two cards that we kept and shipped everything else. Was that an Akud?
An Akud would be pretty good. That would let us get the Chief down.
Yeah, I wonder if we would... Yeah, that's
And it
what I
looks
was
like that
thinking.
is what we're
With
going to
this
go for.
Angel... Yeah, sing the... I think it was an Akud. Oh, maybe not. Sure. So I don't think it was an Akud. I think it was a Stitch Carefree Snowboarder.
Yep, it looks like we just kind of opting to take advantage of the underdog mechanic with this Angel here and get the Grandmother Willow and the Rhino out on this turn, likely, unless we drew a better option.
Sure. And also, something that is relevant here is we will then be able to shift this rhino perhaps and, take out something that may be exerted. We do see the Tigger in hand for Matt, which is
We do see the chief go down into the inkwell, which Matt may be a little bit excited and happy to see, because that chief really was giving him quite a bit of issues last
oh, and we
game.
take out the Basil.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, and we do see for Matt, I mean, we have two Hades looking for a deal in hand, but no, I guess there's no guaranteed card draw in his hand at this point.
Yeah, as well as Colleen may really opt to not let Matt draw the cards.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup when she has a lot of cards in her hand. I do almost wonder if, you know, that's the play.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll
Especially
see
if he
the.
winds up inking a Hades to play one.
I feel like we may end up seeing this Graham of the Willow come back down, trying to hide the fact that we have the shift for this Rhino. Um, because that Rhino would be able to then challenge into this Tigger and take it out on that following turn if Matt wanted to try to press his advantage.
Yeah, and survive too. Looks like I can't tell if we have another chief in hand or is that the one that went into the ink.
I'm thinking that's the one that was in the inkwell, because I believe that the one drop Rhino is also one of the ones that is, or the one that is on the field.
And it looks like we ink the Stitch.
We do see the
We
Willow
do
come
play
down
the
there.
Grandmother
And
Willow.
we could just shift out now also. And then Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
We do see that come through, and I suspect we will see one of these Hades get played down on top of this Rhino, but and used inked the cat that we drew for turn there on Matt's side, so it does still have a Hades sitting in his hand.
Yeah, and it looks like two Willows in hand for Colleen. So this is a little bit tougher because I think yeah, yeah, I think you almost have to let Matt draw now.
I mean, Matt is sitting with one card in hand, though, so it is a tricky spot to be in.
And I suspect he chose I didn't actually see, but I would assume he chose the Rhino.
Yes, yep, the Rhino was the target. Does opt to let him draw the cards.
And then Colleen top decks the dock.
And Colleen doing some math, figuring out some of her lines here, and double checking because she actually, I believe, can just dump her entire hand.
Yeah, I had to ask to be sure. I love that.
Oh, and then draws
Oh,
the
and then
strength to be able to take out the. What a crazy series of plays.
Oh my goodness. So wait, there's one. So the first Willow cost 1, the second Willow cost 1, and then the dock cost 1. That is just crazy.
We do see that Pete coming down now, but
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, I mean,
sorry, Matt. Sorry,
Colleen
Matt.
now in a position where, yeah, she
A
can
very
she
commanding
can start
spot.
to draw a lot of these cards and just
Yeah.
kind of start taking away the game.
Oh, and we have an Akud in hand as well, although the other card is Adela's.
Adela's, though, notably does mean that Pete would not be able to take out the Rhino.
That is so true. You could sing. uh,
And any of the characters would be able to sing Adela's.
Yeah. I think we probably use a Willow for that. Yeah. We do find a Lilo escape artist.
We do see an Into the Unknown in Matt's hand there, but Colleen, I do not believe has that information. So this Rhino likely going to be exerted. Oh, hard casting the Akud.
Play this Lilo for free.
Yeah, but notably would have been able to do so with just the Willows on the field too. So I'm not sure what card we have left in our hand there. The card that's still left in the hand should be whatever was drawn off of the Akud.
I did not see what that was. And the P cannot challenge. Well, it can challenge the Rhino. It cannot remove the Rhino
The
because
last
of
card
the
is an
Delos.
Angel.
Okay. And I realized too, this Pete has put in so much work for Matt over the course of the days. So me saying "who cares" is really not a slight on the Pete at all, and not a slight on Matt.
We did see
it's
it kind of
fantastic.
take over some of the previous matches for sure. So
Absolutely, it
it's
was
definitely
just
done its
this
work.
like series of plays, and then it was like we have this Pete, but we're fine. Like for Colleen,
Yeah, I mean,
just
notably,
the
she
way she
isn't
was able to go so
that
wide.
far ahead yet. We did just quest up to 5,
That's true.
but we aren't really pushing towards that finish line just yet. So Matt definitely does still have the ability here to try to come back a little bit.
Was that a doc?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, so the angel costs
0,
0.
and the dock
The
will
doc
cost 2.
costs 2. This tree makes the math so hard sometimes.
And Colleen here trying to decide whether it's worth playing the angel prior to the dock, or if she wants to just ink the angel and get the free dock.
Right. Yeah, I think
opting to stick to that play and get the extra body down. It notably can sing some of these songs that like a strength or an Akud, so the body I think certainly useful. But we do see a He Hurled His Thunderbolts there. I'm wondering if we just see the Chief get inked here to just go ahead and take out that Pete.
That feels like, yeah, such a great play.
Yeah, and that is... I just kind of talked about not pushing towards the finish line, but I would say we are now really pressing up against it. Questing for 7 on the following turn, going to 17, and I suspect these Hades will just see them draw cards for the rest of the game.
Yeah, at this point. No Lilos, I don't think, in the discard to bring back.
What did we get there? Oh, okay. I mean, that'll be tough to get rid of.
That is, yes. And we do quest all the way up to 17.
With a rhino sitting
and
there, and only
with an
two characters
unexerted
able to
rhino.
challenge on Matt's side here. Does have the ability to play the Hades, but I suspect we will not see Colleen tuck a character underneath her deck. I suspect they will only draw cards
Probably
from now on.
not. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I suppose we have to get rid. Well, I don't even know what you're.
I don't know if it matters a whole lot at this point, but
Probably not.
and Matt just mad at these willows. He's deciding that he's
Yeah.
going to take him out.
We still will quest for 4.
Yep. And
So
wow, what a series of draws from Colleen there.
Yeah. Colleen wins the Winnabox tournament. Matt, very hard fought second place there. Matt did super well throughout the day. Colleen did super well throughout the day. And just a series of docks is sometimes all it takes.
Yep. You just go tree dock.
Yeah, seems like a good play.
But thanks
Have
for
you ever
watching our
seen
Atlas
3
tournament.
characters? Yeah.
We should be recording a couple more here, or a new tournament, also core, that should be hopefully releasing sometime this week. At least the first few rounds of it.
Yeah, so we will see you there. Thanks so much for watching all of our videos here, and we've got many more tournaments to go.